Hey, it's a preacher. Sunday, we're quarantined. We can't go anywhere where there's a crowd, so we're going to go where there's not a crowd. We're going to head up in the Ozark Mountains, maybe go up around White Rock, Shores Lake, Lake Fort Smith, Winslow, Winfrey Valley. I'll bring you along, show you some of the sights. All right, I just made a quick pit stop at Shores Lake. I haven't been here in probably 20 years. I went inner tube fishing up here probably 20 years ago, and we caught a bunch of little bass. And they drained this lake a couple of years ago and supposedly planted a bunch of vegetation on the lake floor, and I don't even know if they've stocked it back yet, but it's just a nice little watershed lake up here in the Ozark Mountains. Let me give you a look around. Of course, it's raining, so I'm standing in a pavilion. This is a nice pavilion. Could be rented, I think they said $35 a day. Of course, you got a little boat ramp over there. And they open it up for camping over there. It's not open now. That's a swimming area. I don't know if you can see it there, but there's floating yellow buoys that mark the swimming area. Over here's a little like a dock that goes out with a couple of fishing areas on it for handicapped people or kids, or if you're just too lazy to go beat the banks. I'm gonna get back on the road and go to White Rock. Be our next stop. It's supposed to stop raining today, but as a matter of fact, the radar's not picking up rain, but it's just been a real heavy mist. And this is about as bright as I've seen it, so maybe by the time we get to the top, it'll quit and I can get the camera out and show you a little bit of this. Now, that's the kind of stuff you'd expect to see a Bigfoot in right there. We're up here in the high country, in that old flat oak bench right there. Bigfoot like to do a lot of foraging for acorns and wild hickory nuts and whatnot. That's where they like to do it, right there. Keep your eyes peeled for a Bigfoot. Well, this is what I was afraid of. The fog set in. You can drive down the road here another couple of miles, maybe another half mile. There's a big overlook. You got to pay $3 to use it, but the problem is you couldn't see nothing. I'm sitting here at the fork in the road where you turn to go to Shores Lake or back to Mountainburg. I can't even see down to the next bench. Normally I could see for 20 miles through those clouds right there, but just low cloud cover and kind of a drizzling mist. I'm gonna head on out. Let's head over to Lake Fort Smith. Maybe we get a little lower in elevation, we'll get out of this fog. I tell you what, that's the dangest thing I ever seen in my life. There was a Volkswagen van pulled up, had 3 hippie looking ladies in it. They got out and they stark naked. They said, hey, we'll give you a granola bar if you take a picture of us naked in front of this White Rock sign. I said, you get back in that van, you bunch of nasty, dirty, naked hippies. And they took off down the road. Of course, I chased them as far as I could. They got down there about that Shores Lake sign. They turned and went down the hill. I ain't taking no granola bars off naked women. Check this feller out. Don't he know they play banjos back in there? Well, we finally got down under that fog and got away from them girls passing out granola bars. That noise you hear is waterfalls down in the bottom of that canyon. This is really pretty if it had been sunshiny today, but I didn't come up here to sightsee. I really came up here to get away. And that's kind of what I want to talk to you about. This channel's called Preacher's Day Off for a reason. It's usually the things I do on my day off. Today shouldn't be my day off. Today's Sunday. Should be a work day. Should be the busiest day of my week. But in reality, it's not. Because of the current situations in our area. And I think to do what's best to try to slow the spread of all this, we canceled service today. So normally I'd be preaching on Sunday morning. Matter of fact, I can't tell you the last time I didn't preach on a Sunday morning that I wasn't sick or on vacation. And a lot of times I preach sick, and sometimes I do preach when I'm on vacation. But I can't tell you the last time I was home and not sick and didn't preach. I've been so busy. I know a lot of you think preachers only work 3 hours a week. It's okay. I've had better people than you think worse about me. But in all honesty, I've been busier the last 3-4 days because of this outbreak. Answering calls from other preachers, trying to keep up with people in the church, making sure that our congregation has everything it needs, from people having enough food, old people not needing to get out. Some people just didn't have toilet paper. I mean, just they got caught flat-footed and then they couldn't find any. I got up early this morning just like I normally would on a Sunday, about 5:30, and didn't prepare a sermon. I just kind of went over social media, made sure I didn't have any messages or emails I'd missed. Then I got in my car and headed out. I knew it was rainy. I knew it was going to be foggy and cloudy. I knew it wasn't going to be a great day for sightseeing, but I also knew if I got up here in the mountains in the National Forest, I wouldn't have any cell service either. And that's really what I needed. I needed a couple hours of no contact, basically. And so far, that's what I've had. Nobody's tried to call me. Nobody's texted me. I've just given me some time to do some thinking, and I haven't seen anything to report. No bears, no deer. But the trees are just starting to bloom out, bud out. It's really pretty. If the sun was shining today, you would see what makes the Ozarks shine. But I just want to take you guys along and pull over and talk a little bit. Let's get back in the truck. Well, you see that right there, maybe a little no service. That's why I came up here. No service. Need a little downtime today. So far it's been real good. Well, last night's rain sure has them muddied up. That thing's usually gin clear. But we had a pretty good rain last night. As much as I'd love to, as much as I enjoy riding around in the mountains, looking at the streams and the trees and seeing the deer, it's no substitute from gathering with the saints on the Lord's day. Let's get in the truck, we'll head over to the next valley. Now we're in what they call Shepard Springs. I just stopped here on the cutoff road to show you a little waterfall. We're going to ease over and we'll be going down the side of Lake Fort Smith now. Had a little bit clearer stream coming in on that far side. If you'll remember, that was Jack Creek that we crossed. I stopped on that ridge over there overlooking Jack Creek. Then I stopped on the bridge, showed you a picture of it. You can see where it's running into the muddier stream. You can see that line of clear water, mud water. That's Lake Fort Smith. I'm up above it. Pretty steep down through there. A little bluff, some rocks. Give you a look around. Like I said, it's cloudy, you can't see it all, but you can see a lot of it. Kind of lose the mountain in the fog there. Comes back in over here, wraps around. Well, I'm parked, just 100 yards up through there. There's a little walking trail. I think it's called the Ozark Highland Trail. Skirts around the edge of Lake Fort Smith. This was the last stop on my little get out and look around today. As I said before, it's quarantine time. And I'm trying to do my part. I'm not afraid of getting sick. I'm not afraid of dying. I just don't want to spread something. I mean, I'm young enough and healthy enough that if I get this virus, I'll probably survive, you know. But if I do die, if I do get it and I die, that's okay. Just don't let the Democrats use my death for propaganda, okay? Anyways, I'm trying to stay out of the public. I'm trying to stay to myself, you know, with my family. But my problem is, I'm tired of being home. I'm tired of being on the phone. I'm going back and forth to the church. I just wanted to disengage for a couple hours. And that's basically what I've done. I've had about a 2.5 hour trip out through the mountains, and I'm probably 30 minutes from the house where I'm at. So thank you guys for tagging along. Wasn't the best day to be showing you videos and showing you the mountains and the overlook. Everything was so foggy. It's just now starting to clear off down low. But maybe we'll make this trip again. I've made this little loop. I've driven it, I don't know, 8 or 10 times over the years. And thank you guys for tagging along with me today. I've really enjoyed my time. I hope you guys will stay safe. Look, quarantine yourself for a reason. Not because you're afraid you're going to get sick, but so that you don't spread it or keep it going or pass it around to other people. So do. Out of love for your neighbor, respect for your fellow man, do your part to keep this thing from really crippling this country. I want to get back to normal just as fast as possible. But at the same time, I realize the position we're in as a country. I realize that we've got to do something to curb this, or we're going to end up like Italy or China. And so quarantining is the best thing to do, staying home. And if you just can't stay home any longer, get in your car and drive out to the National Forest or State Park or somewhere where there ain't nobody. In that 2.5, 3 hour loop I've driven today, until I got right here by Lake Fort Smith, I think I only saw 3 cars and a guy on a bicycle. You guys enjoy your Sunday, and we'll see you on the next video. One other thing before I cut off here, in case you're wondering, that is one of the lakes where I have thoroughly thrashed the basketball ref in a little fishing tournament. So I've outfished him on this water here too, just in case you were wondering. I know he's not wondering, but I want him to remember.